continue to preview the big game, a game the Dallas Cowboys have not been in since 1996, and that is where we go next. After a monster first season with the Cowboys that saw him set career highs in yards and touchdowns, George Pickens is a free agent this offseason. When asked yesterday if he had any contract discussions with Jerry Jones and the Cowboys, Pickens said not yet. But while at the Pro Bowl, he did interview next to some familiar faces and very familiar with contract negotiations. Watch this.
Jerry said because of you got Micah's money, you're going to get Micah's money. Because if Micah's not there, they can pay you.
I mean, it's a very possibility. Everything in life is a possibility. But we definitely could have used Michael Parsons. We definitely could have used his talents.
Why does that video make us cringe? Because George Pickens is standing next to Micah Parsons, and we're all like, oh, no. Swagoo, do you think re-signing George Pickens should be at the top of Jerry Jones' offseason to-do list?
No, I don't believe so, because I think there's more pressing issues. I think George Pickens is a guy that's going to get paid regardless, right? And if you want to keep him, you're going to have to come off a number one wide receiver type money. And you can get into the minutia of a salary cap. I don't do that, Mad Dog.
Nor do
in case
I.
you know.
I
don't do the salary cap thing because they figure it out.
Hey, I know it got bumped up.
Yeah.
I know the salary cap about 300 of things.
Talk to him, Cam.
Hey, that salary cap high now.
So I don't get caught up in, well, where they going to find the money. They'll find the money. If they want him bad enough, they'll find the money. They'll figure it out. There's more pressing issues in the secondary for Dallas right now. They got to find another cornerback. Diggs left. They traded him away. They got to figure out what they're going to be identity-wise on defense. The Quentin Williams move was phenomenal. Odigizua, you got Kenny Clark still there. Demarion Overshawn is going to be healthier, more healthier than he was last year. There's good things. They got to find a linebacker in the middle of that defense as well. So not from a standpoint of George Pickens not being a premium. It's just more issues that will cause you to lose games as opposed to signing George Pickens and knowing your offense will go off. So I just think defensively it needs to be the priority this year.
What do you think, Cam?
I think that solves that. I mean, you say you should he get paid? Oh, absolutely. 1,400 yards, 9 touchdowns. Oh, he gonna get paid. And for every team that says they can't pay him, no, you can always figure out a way.
Yeah.
But is he the first priority? No. You'd say you'd have to shore up that secondary. You have Quentin Williams, that's great. You have Kenny Clark that can push the pocket. You had Jadeveon Clowney, who had 9 sacks this year. I mean, you had Dante Fowler. You have a D-line. Now, again, what connects those? The secondary. Yep. So can I say, yeah, you can pay George Pickens? Oh, he needs to be paid. But is that the first thing? No.
We've seen Jerry Jones take long times to figure out contracts, and maybe that's the situation here. What do you think, Matt?
I basically agree with both these guys who are great defensive players. I don't think you need 2 great receivers. They got one as it is in C.D. Lamb, where they're paying a fortune. You need another one now?
Yeah.
I mean, Seattle doesn't have 2 great receivers. The Patriots don't have 2 great receivers. Denver doesn't have 2 great receivers. They don't have one. There's only Nico Collins.
What's he talking about? Seattle doesn't have 2 great receivers? There's Cooper Kupp, a former MVP, and then you have JSN.
All
right, continue.
On the money.
Not the money.
There we go.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're paying Cooper, so that's my take. And they need. I'd rather have 4 guys making that money than paying a 1 guy. It's not the LA Dodgers, where there's no salary cap. You can get anybody you want. You have to organize that cap. And I'm with you. I'm not a capologist. So, and I love him too. Now, he makes me nervous because when things go wrong, he can have a tendency to fade. And that does make me nervous. I don't have to explain it to you.
I feel you.
But I understand how great he is. But I think you should allocate that money to some other areas of the team.
Let me say this, guys. A couple of things. Number one, by the way, the salary cap issue, it was $279. Now it's projected to be $301 to $305 million. So it's up plus $20 million from what it was this past season. Okay, that's number one. Number two. With that being said, if you are George Pickens, let me be very, very clear. Don't have Micah Parsons standing next to you if you want money from Jerry Jones. We all know that how Jerry Jones handled that stuff was a bit personal.
Yep.
And we all know that Jerry Jones takes his money very, very personally in terms of what he's doling out, how he doles. It's the art of the deal, trying to win every negotiation, trying to make sure that he gets the upper hand at you. Jerry Jones is one of those people that he got to win, even if it's a cup of coffee. He's got to win during the negotiation. Damn it, some would argue it's more important to him to win during negotiations clearly than win the Super Bowls because he ain't done it in 30 years, okay? So we got to understand that, all right? Don't have Micah Parsons, your former teammate, okay, or the former Dallas Cowboy, and who's represented by the same agent that Jerry used to refuse to talk to. That's not how you get your money, okay? We got to do negotiations 101. Appearances matter. Optics matter. You don't agitate the people on the other side of the negotiating table that's cutting the check. You understand? You're trying to wait. You're trying to appease them just a little bit. You understand what I'm saying? You got to be mindful of that. So George got to recognize that. Of course, he deserves his money. Over 1,400 receiving yards, 93 receptions. By the way, played all 17 games 3 of the last 4 seasons. Brother don't miss work. So we appreciate that. But there were a couple of times when he showed up to work, but he really didn't show up. We all pointed that out. It was right there on film. You understand? Where you were making business decisions, where you wasn't going all out in a lot of people's eyes. It's not me talking. These are the analysts that were covering the game. These are the analysts that were covering the game, not just live in terms of play-by-play or color commentary, but in the aftermath of it, postseason or post-game coverage. The point is, when you've got that stuff during a negotiation, the other side is always looking for an excuse to get the most out of you for the least amount of dollars they have to dole out. And nobody is fixated on that more so than Jerry Jones. So we got to remember that, and we got to remember, should he be a priority for the Cowboys this season? No, because your defense was trash. Yeah. So you've got to upgrade that. But it doesn't mean he wasn't important, because we've seen, even with Dak, even with CeeDee Lamb, when it's just them, you usually need more. And Pickens was an incredible help to the Dallas Cowboys offense.
I also want to go back to this, okay? Stephen A., you brought up that point, and I don't know if Pickens is even negotiating with the Cowboys. I don't know if he's
expected to. He's expected.
Yeah, but I'm saying I don't know if he's gung-ho to go back, right? Like, you think about, to your point, who is his agent? David Mulligetta, right? And you think about where he is now. George Pickens is on the market. This ain't no situation where Dallas controls rights or they do anything. Right. He's on the market for every team in the NFL. Yes. So there is no reason.
You said
for
agent, David. Moolah getter.
There is no
he gonna get that moolah. He gonna get that moolah.
There is no reason for George Pickens to show any I'm a Dallas Cowboy in this negotiation
But then let
process.
me ask you this. Can they win without him? Can the Cowboys win without him?
I believe they can. But to Mad Dog's point, I don't think you need 2 number ones. You absolutely need a number 2 that can play at a high level consistently throughout the season. But like, George Pickens is a phenomenal wide receiver, but he's going to want to be paid as a 1. And guess what Dallas has right now? A number 1 wide receiver. He's not going to make more money than CeeDee Lamb. And I'm not sure if his agent or he is okay with that, because there are 31 other teams in this league.
Ain't no 31 other teams giving him $36 million a year. They ain't doing it.
Listen to what I'm saying. When you have a season like that and desperation kicks in, all you need is 3. All you need is 3 to say, we want you, and we gonna negotiate against whoever offering you contract. That's how it goes. Like, so this is what I want to correct. I don't want people to think that George Pickens is running up and down the neighborhood saying, please, Cowboys, sign me.
He's not. But I got something to say in response to that. It's not me, because usually I'm the one taking the hits for stuff like this, but it's not me. Because I'm the friendly neighborhood commentator.
Stop playing. You are not friendly.
Friendly is the wrong word.
Well,
friendly.
I can be. I have a heart sometimes. The point that I'm trying to make to you is this. You guys pointed out, when it came to Pickens, no one has ever questioned his talent. Ever. What they've questioned was his will, his want to. At times in Pittsburgh, we didn't blame him for that, because he never had a quarterback with Mason Rudolphs, Mitchell Trubisky's, all of these other folks. No, we didn't blame him for that. But we did look at them and say, okay, there's things you could have done to show more effort. And then there were a couple occasions this year in Dallas. Those are the kind of things that get you nervous. It doesn't prevent you from getting the bag, meaning $30+ million, because his market value at this particular moment in time is about $30 million, all right? If they franchised him, it would be 1 year, $28 million. But his market value is at about $30 million. He'll get that. But when you talk about CeeDee Lamb money, Justin Jefferson money, that kind of stuff, no, nobody's going to do that.
Well, he did rank.
Don't say nobody. All it takes is one team to love you.
He did rank 3rd in the NFL in receiving yards this past season.
Right.
Yeah,
He'll get 34.
They were 8, 9, and 1 with him.
Okay.
8, 9, and 1.
Yeah, that's not all on him, of course. Coming up here on First Take.
8, 9, and 1. 8, 9, and 1.
What was the original question? Should he be the first priority?
Jackson Smith and Jigba is Seattle's not-so-secret weapon.